Good morning, Stash Squad and Culers around the world. It is time to wake up and Barca. Some of you may already noticed. Rah! New kit reveal just in time for Barcelona to be eliminated from Europa League. Listen, I admittedly ordered this with the intention of having it for the Europa League final. Things didn't work out, but you know what? It is a good reminder, okay, that not every year it's going to be full of trophies. Not every season will be Lionel Messi lighting up the pitch and us enjoying every minute of it. There's going to be some bad times. So while I had a moment of regret once we got eliminated from Europa League and I had this jersey yet to arrive, I am now very thankful that I have it. One, this is a dope kit. Two, pay respects to a club legend, El Capitan. And three, like I said, it is a good reminder that not every year is going to be full of trophies. Not every year will be as successful as we would like it to be. But this was a year where we got to reassure our love of Barcelona. We got to reconfirm ourselves as culés that will stick around not just for the good times, but also the bad. So I'm happy that we have this jersey, but that's not really what we're here to discuss today. We are here to discuss the Eintracht Frankfurt invasion at the Camp Nou. We've got a special guest, Pablo Woolls-Blanco. He's going to be joining us in just a couple minutes. He's going to give us the full breakdown because guess what, folks? I hardly know anything about what was going on with the supporters groups and the protests, and I'm having a hard time figuring out how we got so many Frankfurt fans in the stadium. So Pablo's going to be on here. He's going to give us all the details so that we know what's actually happening. And that's going to be what we're doing in today's very special weekend Sunday edition of Wake Up in Barca. My friends, if this is your first time finding us, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you know when we're live, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, doing Wake Up in Barca, plus bonus specials. That's why you got to turn on those notifications. And we are here for all the Barcelona matches. I do commentary. You participate in the chat with Culers from around the world as we cheer on the Blaugrana. That's what we do here on the Undefeated channel. Again, if you are just finding us, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the conversation. And we are live with Pablo in just a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the Undefeated Mustache John.
All right. Intro is out of the way. I think we are all set. I got Pablo in the wings. Let me quickly say hello to the Stash Squad. Get my good mornings in. Prashanth, how we doing, sir? Looks like you're going to catch us on replay. Hello, Prashanth, seeing us on replay. Denis, welcome. First-time viewer, welcome to the Undefeated community. I'm glad you found us. We got Kudis, the Stash Commander, in here with us. Matinho, Adam, hello. Mike's with us. Kyle Cash is in the house. What's up, dude? Sandesh, Blair Kurd, and Takir. Good morning, everybody. Complex, good morning. All right, as promised, folks, we've got Pablo Woolls-Blanco. Let me go ahead and shift scenes over here. I know what I'm doing. This is not my first time. Here we go. Maybe there he is. All right, Pablo, you are live as soon as I get your audio going, which should be right now. Pablo, say hello and good morning to the Stash Squad, sir.
Hello, everyone. Hello again, John. Thanks for having me on, man. Is my audio all good? Are we all good to go? Because this is going to be a good one, eh? Crazy last couple of days, so should be a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to catch up on. Yes, indeed. I'll keep an eye on the chat. It looks like our audio is good. Levels are okay. So, Pablo, let's dive into things here. I got a few questions I want to, of course, get to. But first, actually, let me back up. How you been, buddy? Is life treating you okay?
Yeah, I've been okay, man. It's Easter here over in the UK. Back home now for a few days off university, and then go back. Finish off with assessment, and then pretty much early summer, really. So yeah, but focus on the football as always. Lots of games going on, and Yeah, it's been an interesting few days. Interesting days.
Yeah, I know, and the folks that have been here for our streams in previous times, we know you're a Chelsea guy as well. And, I've been pulling for Barcelona to be kind of your outlet, the happy days when Chelsea are going through their struggles. But it's been a rough week for you a little bit. Chelsea eliminated from Champions League, Barcelona eliminated from Europa League. So I was thinking about you all week, man.
No, thank you, man. Honestly, yeah. You know what? In the past, I've got a little bit better about not getting too devastated with football, because it was, you got to be careful not to let it just take over your life, haven't you? But yeah, Tuesday Chelsea are out, Thursday Barca are out. I mean, look, Chelsea I thought were amazing against Real Madrid, so we kind of went out in a good way. It was an amazing game, wasn't it? Just Real Madrid at the Bernabeu away. You can never stop them. I swear, man. We had them the whole game and they killed us. It's classic Real Madrid. And Barca on Thursday. I mean, as we'll get on to, that was a tough one for a lot of reasons. So yeah. Tough week, but I'm doing okay.
Glad to hear it. We do have a bright future, right? We got plenty of things to look forward to. I spent most of Thursday and Friday telling people, head up, because if you don't pick your head up, you're going to miss that bright future we got coming up in front of us. Yeah. So we'll get to talking about positive things, but mostly we got to get to what happened at the Camp Nou on Thursday. The pictures are there. We've all seen them. It looked like a Los Merengues invasion, but it was Frankfurt this time. I, as a Barcelona supporter, have not seen anything like it. So I'm throwing it to you. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, okay. It's such a huge question. I'm just going to disclaim. I'm going to try and explain what happened in the best way possible. I don't know everything. I don't have any inside knowledge here, but I've been quite interested in the whole Barca ticketing thing and the little supporter groups and stuff for a while now. So I'm going to give it my best shot. Yeah. What we saw in the Camp Nou on a Thursday night was Frankfurt took about 30,000, I think, roughly, seats in the stadium. What happened is they were given a 5,000 away allocation, which they took up in the corner, as we saw, which every club does in Europe. But what they then did is take up about 25 to 30,000 other tickets in the home section. And that's why what we saw happened. Why did it happen and how did it happen? I think the first thing that I immediately went to is the fact that Barcelona put their tickets on general sale on the club website. That means that any of us can go and buy a Barcelona ticket. You can buy a Barcelona ticket, I can buy one. Whoever's in the chat right now can just go on and buy a ticket for Cadiz tomorrow. That can happen. Right. And if you're in Barcelona, you can watch it. So that means that you can be a fan of whatever club and you can go to Camp Nou. That's nice because it allows people like you and me, John, who don't live in Barcelona, to go and watch our club. It's great. And also Barcelona have a 99,000 capacity stadium. If it was only available to season ticket holders and members, we'd probably get about 35,000 in the ground every game. We don't want that. And it's just nice to let everyone in, isn't it?
Yeah. Can I pause you right there, Pablo?
Yeah, sure.
Am I right that a lot of, to your point, what you see in the stadium in terms of the fan base, that's a lot of folks coming from outside of Barcelona visiting, tourists, as they say. I couldn't think of the right word. A lot of that is tourists, not really the local Catalonians coming into the stadium so much.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is tourists, and that it just is the way for the big clubs. In Spain as well, Real Madrid is similar. Yeah. Maybe not as much as Barcelona, but it's similar. It's the truth. These guys we have huge stadiums. Over 80,000 people can come. It's not only people born and bred in Madrid and Barcelona. Sure. They come from all over the world. And Barcelona, as we know, we've got fans from everywhere, and that's a great thing. It's lovely the way you can see people coming. And honestly, I just feel bad for the fans that did come. I think I saw some people from all over the world in the front seats, and they were surrounded by German fans, and you're just thinking you poor souls, your first Camp Nou experience. And I know when I've been to the Camp Nou, I've gone with my mum and my brother, and it's a family experience of the Camp Nou. You'll know, you've been there, John. So it's it's all it was sad to see, and I do feel for the people who it happened to and who were going for their first experience, and they were just surrounded by Frankfurt fans, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay, so they had their allotted 5,000. In Barcelona, typically we tuck them up in the highest corner, right? We don't allow them right behind the goal like some other clubs do. You mentioned the supporters groups. That's where I think I'm the least familiar. I can't even confidently pronounce some of the names.
Yes.
I'll do it just because the chat loves to rag on me for an American not being able to say words, but Bosas Nor?
Yeah, I think I say Bosas Nor.
Yeah, better than me. So I know they seem to be top of the list in terms of bad behavior, that hooliganism, racism, discrimination.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm still super unfamiliar with where the tie-ins with the supporters groups and whatnot. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, the supporters group's really interesting. I think I'll tell you what, I'll come back to the whole how Frankfurt got in all their tickets in just a moment. We'll do supporters groups and stuff because it's so loaded, like you said. It's really confusing, and I've been trying to do tweets on all of it and stuff. But yeah, supporters group. So Barcelona, 80s, 90s really. The main supporters group of Barcelona was the Boys or Noi. So these guys were like, the main Culers really behind the goal who would cheer on the team. Teams have them all over Europe. In Dortmund have got them, PSG have got them, and these are the guys, you see crazy, flares, drums, scarves, flags, all of it. These are the crazy guys behind the goal. It was actually Jean Laporta himself who banned these guys from entering the stadium, I believe in 2004, I think was the official ban, although do not quote me on that. The reason he did that is because they were essentially, inciting violence. This is a violent group. I'm not saying all of them are violent. I think actually a few of them came out after this game happened and fans were saying, get these guys back in. And a few of them said, all we do is support Barcelona. Not all of us are, neo-Nazis and stuff. And unfortunately, some bad things have happened around this group. I don't even know how much I can say here or how much I should say because some of them are quite dangerous people.
Sure. But
they've done some really dangerous things to opponent fans. They get in a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I think their views aren't exactly great. Racism, xenophobia, discriminative behavior.
For anybody who's curious, if you jump on YouTube, you'll see some videos of what Pablo's talking about there. But go ahead, Pablo.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's a tough one because I think why their name came up again this week is because Barcelona saw their team being dominated in their home stadium and they wanted some people who've got a bit of muscle. The sort of fans that the PSG have got and stuff. These guys who, they'll fight till the death for their club. And that's what the Boys or Noi will do, to be fair. But I still don't think it's the right thing just to bring them back because I don't think it's the right group. What Barcelona have now got is a grada d'animació. That kind of means like an animation zone behind the goal. So those are the guys you see now. Those are the guys who did that mini 10-minute boycott, which is another thing to discuss, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not a fan of that one, John?
No, I get the frustration.
Yeah.
I get the limitation of how to express that frustration, but leaving the club, leaving the stands when we're in a huge match and we're already outnumbered in terms of support, that just doesn't put the players first. It doesn't put the badge first. You know what I mean? That seemed like a misstep to me.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And basically what these guys' job is just to animate the team. So they're a friendly group. They're not like the Boys or Noi. They're like, it's a similar sort of thing. They're going to have their flags and they've got banners and they've got drums and they make like a big racket behind the goal.
Yeah.
They're a good group. I like them. They make all the atmosphere. And we saw in the 10 minutes, it kind of got a bit eerie, when they left. And I was like, I was thinking like, goodness me, guys. I was kind of with you on that one. I was like, please, can you come back? Because this is ridiculous now. We're literally playing away from home now. Before it was tough, but at least when you guys doing something. And these are the guys, to keep it short and not ramble on. I believe they got put in Goal Nord, which is the North goal, in 2016. They're made up of, I think, 5 different supporters groups. So you can become part of like the Peña, and then you get let in, and then they can go in behind the goal and make all the noise. That's what they are now. But they are, as peaceful as it gets in terms of ultras, I think is what I'd say about the Grada d'Animació. They're not like the Boys or Noi who will beat people up. They will fight the opponent fans after the game. That is just the way it goes. Like, it's part of the package. Yeah. And they've done all sorts in the past too. The Grada d'Animació are like a peaceful version, if you like, and they are Barcelona's key supporters group right now behind the goal, is the way I'd see those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that honestly is one of the things that you see in the game of football as it becomes, I would say, particularly targeted towards the American audience. Because for Americans, the violence tied in with it just isn't going to necessarily fly. We don't have that in our sports. Yeah. You'll see it. You can, again, get on YouTube, and if you do, stadium fights in America, you'll see it. But it's not part of the culture, I would say. And so I noticed English Premier League, when they started really marketing for America, one of the things that they had to get rid of the hooligan perception that came with it. And Barcelona, as we've talked about, worldwide club, they don't want that look. They don't want that to be part of the brand. So,
yeah.
I get it.
Exactly. And that's we've kind of gone on the route where we kind of completely pacified the stadium. And I do like that. It's nice, isn't it? Because it means that you can go with your families and your kids and stuff, and it's all very friendly. But what it does mean is when things like this happen, we'll just get eaten alive. Frankfurt couldn't have done this in like PSG or someone like that. They just wouldn't happen. But in Camp Nou, it's all on general sale. It's anyone can come along and have a day out at Camp Nou.
Yeah.
It's the price you pay. It's the price you pay. And ultimately, Frankfurt clocked on. They thought, oh my goodness me, we can get all these tickets. And they just ran all over us. They ran all over us. And I think that's why ultimately people said, let's get these ultras back in because we've had enough of being run over. Sure. In my opinion, it's not the right thing to do. I think they should be kept away. But look, if they're supporting, it's nice to have them supporting the group. And actually, I always like, whenever I see on TV, like Dortmund and PSG and stuff, they're ultras, I think it's really cool. I do. But sure. It can be dangerous. That's the truth of it. Hooliganism, ultra culture in football, it can be dangerous. That's the truth. And we see it. Like, even English fans who aren't even the most in a way, but when they go on away days, they just go and trash the city. They rock up. Yeah. They rock up at Madrid. They rock up at Barcelona. They'll do all sorts in fountains. They'll throw stuff at people. They'll raid the bars. Like, it's part of the culture, and it is what it is. Sometimes, honestly, it's sad, but it is part of the culture, and that's what Barcelona have got. We haven't got that culture, so there's positives and there's negatives to it, but we haven't got it.
Yeah, I hear it. And you know what? At the end of the day, I would be more proud of the club for moving in that direction, the non-violence, the family atmosphere, the all are welcome type environment. I certainly encourage Barcelona going in that direction. So I would like it if we could figure out a way to do it without turning our Camp Nou into an away game. But
yeah, exactly.
I'm against the violence at the end of the day, right? I'm sure that's the idea.
Yeah, and just, shall we talk a bit more about how it did turn into an away game?
Please do. Yeah.
Because I kind of got a bit stuck, and apologies. I think, look, what's happened, number one, I think because it goes on general sale, anyone can get a ticket. So that means you can get a ticket, whatever. I think what they've done is Frankfurt have gone on the website and they've seen, oh my God, we can just buy tickets in the home end here. However, what Barcelona did do, because they anticipated this happening, is they blocked German credit cards and they blocked German IP addresses. So if you went onto the website with a German credit card, you couldn't buy it. However, there are ways out of this. I've heard international credit cards and VPNs. It's so simple to get out of that. In addition, Frankfurt fans, they just did everything possible to get a ticket. They got Barcelona fans to buy them tickets, and they would happily pay €400 to get them off the Barcelona fans. They can call someone in Barcelona and say, can you buy us 5 tickets? They can buy them 5 tickets, and they can buy them outside the ground. They'll be buying tickets off people. There were rumors that I think one of the main talking points that came out of the whole scandal, if you like, was that people were saying the Barcelona socios, which is what they're called, the members of the club, they were selling their tickets to Frankfurt fans. I think that happened a bit. I'm not sure to what scale. I don't think to a 30,000 scale, by the way. That's why I think mainly Frankfurt fans have just gone through our general sale website, changed their VPNs, and have got tickets.
Did you see the image going around? It was a printout of instructions for using like the socio pass and whatnot.
Yes.
That looked bogus to me. That looked like something you could just whip up. Like, is there any chance that that's just like some negative propaganda against Barcelona trying to make it even worse?
I think that is. And honestly, I don't think the fans selling their tickets was the main reason this happened. I really don't. I think, if we're being honest, how many fans were actually sold their tickets? I'd say 2,000 maximum. Not 30,000. Not 30,000. How Frankfurt got this many tickets is a complete and utter disgrace. And I think they did it through so many different ways. Like I said, the website, buying tickets outside the ground, buying tickets off the fans, which we saw. And I think, that's poor from the fans, in my opinion. If you are one of those few thousand who are selling your tickets to Frankfurt fans, then, I wouldn't condone that. But at the end of the day, these guys, they probably got their tickets for €100, and Frankfurt said, I'll pay you 400 for that. It's €300 like that, and I think some of them were thinking, no, why not? And that's how it happened. So loads of reasons how they got the tickets, and I think this is my issue with it, because I think what people are thinking now is, well, what can we do for this not to happen again?
Right.
I'm not entirely sure what we can do. Mm-hmm. And I've been speaking to my mum about this the last few days. Well, what can Barcelona do to change the system? Well, there's not an awful lot we can do, because Barcelona can't take tickets off general sale because of what we were saying earlier. If Barcelona take tickets off general sale, we won't get more than 40,000 fans in the ground. You know how much money we'll lose. So once it's on general sale, it's anyone's game. Anyone's game. Look, they tried blocking German IP addresses. So say we played Liverpool at home, we could try blocking IP addresses from Liverpool. But again, there's ways around it. There are ways around it. Easy. Very easy. So I think Barca are in a problem. I heard they were doing the nominative thing where the original owner of the ticket cannot then sell their ticket on, and then someone can use that. I don't know how much that will solve, because again, I don't think that was the main root of this problem.
Yeah.
But I think this is Barca's biggest issue. It was a scandal on the night, but even more so, what do we do about it?
Man, yeah. All right. Well, I think you said a lot there, Pablo. So let's see what we can unpack. I'm with you on it potentially being a problem that club management can't fix, right? Because it's also tied into ticket resales, like you mentioned, scalping tickets, as we say in America. I don't know if that's a term over in the UK, but
No, I've
scalping
never heard
tickets.
of that one, but yeah.
And it's too easy to do sometimes. My wife and I, we got put in a lottery for USA versus Mexico. We got 4 tickets, only needed 2. By the time we got the tickets, they were going for 3-4 times the value. How do you not sell them on, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm with you on that. It's outside the club's control. So are we calling all Culers to fill the stadium? Is that the answer? It really comes down to the supporters. We got to be in the stadium. We got to buy those tickets.
That's the thing. I think there's not really like an action Barcelona can take, which is gonna stop this. I actually don't think there is. I'd be interested to see next few days. There may be some reports and stuff, and I'm actually really interested to hear what Laporta and Co say about this, because I'm a little bit lost for solutions. But I think you're right. What can happen in the past? It hasn't happened before, and it's all been the same. That's what I find really interesting. No away group of supporters has ever thought, let's buy the whole home end. It's never happened before, which I find really interesting, and I'm hoping now it doesn't sort of cause a movement.
Is there any sort of like regulations or rules in England with wearing away colors in the stadium? Am I making that up, or is there some kind of rules against that?
In England, you just do not go in the home end if you're not a supporter. You just do not do it, and if you do, then you don't wear your away team's colours. That's for sure, and you can't celebrate the goals. You have to hide.
Just sit and speculate.
Yeah. You just have to sit in silence and get out of the ground. I don't know why people would do it, but fair enough.
Yeah.
And also in England, it's completely closed off. It doesn't go on general sale. For example, I can't buy a Chelsea ticket. Like I'm not a member of the club, so I can't buy a Chelsea ticket. I can't buy a Manchester United ticket. It doesn't go on general sale. It's all closed off. But what they're lucky in England is all their fans turn up to every single game.
Yep.
They're very good at doing that. Barcelona can't do that. 1, I don't know. The fan culture isn't the same in Spain. Yep. And 2, it's 99,000, so it's not going to happen.
Man, yeah. So yeah, it might be that the cat's out of the bag. That this could be a recurring thing, unless.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Go ahead.
No. I was just thinking solutions. I mean, all they can do is Barcelona fans can try and gobble up all the tickets immediately. Again, I can't see how that's going to work particularly. As soon as it goes on general sale, the away team will just try and do it again. All we've got to hope for is that the away team are respectful. No one else has ever tried it before, and all we've got to hope is that they don't do it again. I laughed as well because my mum was saying, well, why don't the away fans not buy the tickets? I'm thinking these guys are ultras. They don't really care. They're going to buy whatever they want, So all we can hope is, I think another thing you can do is sanction the team. You say, if your fans buy tickets in the home end, we're going to impose sanctions on the club. UEFA could do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe a step that kind of meets in the middle is for the club to implement a no away team colors in certain sections. Yes. You know what I mean? That at least would quiet things down from a visual sense, at least. And then behavior-wise, I don't think you can control someone from, getting excited in the stands. That's more of are the people around them going to socially allow that to happen or not? And again, I would never condone violence. I would hope that our fans would just drown them out vocally.
Yeah, I think the issue on Thursday was we couldn't do that. Like, for example, if you sneak into the home end in England, say I was at Chelsea, Manchester United at Old Trafford, and I stuck into the Manchester United end, and say Chelsea scored, and I was going like that, I would just be removed. The stewards would remove me. The home fans would try and beat me up. And that's the way it is. What happened in Frankfurt is no one was going to beat up these German people. Like there were so many of them. They took over everything, especially the top tiers of the stadium. We've never seen anything like it before. It wasn't like a group of 50 fans. There were thousands upon thousands of these guys, and it was just like you were watching it, thinking, what on earth is going on? From minute one, you knew it was like a rotten game, honestly. And I think that's the issue, man. That's the issue.
I've never heard Barcelona whistled while in possession at the Camp Nou. I was like, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. We got a comment in the chat from Parth here. He said, what about checking passports? I like the idea. My mind immediately jumps to the practical nature of 99,000 people coming through the gates and having to check passports and check passports. Plus, I know. Let's be fair, maybe there's a German Barcelona fan who traveled in and wanted to be in that game. That person deserves to be there as well.
thing. It can become very dangerous doing that because it can almost become like xenophobic. You're almost saying if you're German, stay away from the ground. It can become really, really dangerous. And it's the same with the shirts. What Frankfurt did is they almost made it obvious for us because they all came in their white shirts. No one paid. No one came in like a black or a red hoodie or something. They all came in their Frankfurt shirts. So what you could have done then is stop the people in Frankfurt shirts. But then what if there was a guy just in wearing this who's a Frankfurt fan? Is he allowed in? And then just because there's someone who's wearing a Frankfurt shirt, they're not allowed in? Mate, there's so many ins and outs of it, and like people are trying to come up with solutions. Me too. I've been doing it for days. But I think this is Barca's biggest issue, that the solution isn't an obvious one. They've just got to hope away fans are respectful and don't do it again, and that Barca fans buy the tickets and don't resell them, and that if it does happen again, then sanctions are imposed on the club who does it, because I can't think of a way that Barcelona can change their ticketing system without it causing huge financial problems for the club.
Yeah. Just spitballing here, the thought just came to mind. What if Barcelona did some sort of buyback for the season ticket holders? So, like, I'm a season ticket holder. I'm going to sell my ticket, and it's going for 5 times the face value. What if Barcelona bought that from me, and they resold it for 6 times the face value, but they can... Well, no, because then that gets right back to they can't regulate where they sell the ticket anyway.
No,
it's
but
hopeless, Pablo. We just need Culers to fill the stadium.
No, I mean they could try that. Yeah, it would be nicer if the season ticket holders gave it to the club instead of directly selling it to Germans, like a few of them did. But yeah, man, it's a really, really tricky one, and that's kind of why my head's been doing spirals with it all week, really. But
yeah. Well, we got another comment in the chat here. My man Kyle Cash said likes the sanctions idea. Seems that might be the most effective, and it sounds pretty practical. Put it back on put the ownership back on the club.
That's the thing. That's because then because what would happen with that is, if you're a fan and you're going in the home end, full well that I could get my club fined here. Yeah.
It
could block people out.
Hasn't quite worked with the Mexican fans and some of their chants, but we'll see if it maybe could take effect in the case of filling the stadium. I don't know. We'll see.
Exactly, man. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that before we move on to maybe some more positive things that we could talk about?
Well, honestly, I think we've covered a good amount. I was really worried coming on today that I was going to cover every amount. I think I've rambled on quite a bit, but I think we've discussed almost everything. And all we've got to do now is it's really interesting to see what happens in the next few days with what the clubs say. I think they're just going to. I'm expecting a generic statement, to be honest, which is a little bit ugh. But let's see. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, right on. Okay, well, I got some other things that we can talk about.
Yes.
We didn't discuss how much time we have, so you tell me if you got to hop off. Otherwise, we're just gonna fire away for a little bit here.
Yep.
All right on. So, Barcelona out of Europa League, big deal or no deal?
You know what? It doesn't feel as bad as Champions League exits, weirdly. I think mainly that's because the focus was on the fans rather than the football. That almost let us get away with it. But when you look at it just football-wise, if we forget about the fans, I think exiting the Europa League quarterfinals to Frankfurt is close to a nightmare for Barcelona. It really is. But you know what? I almost don't feel like it is, just because one game doesn't change all the progress that we've made under Xavi so far. I think if the team comes second in La Liga, and if we win every game, who knows where we'll end up. But I think we're aiming for second now. Let's see. But let's go for second. Then you've got to say it's a positive season. Yeah. In a weird way, in a different way for Barcelona. I think I saw you saying it's not all about trophies before, and that's right in a way. In a different way for Barcelona, but it can still be a really positive season. I think when you look at some of the lineups we were putting out around November time with Koeman, we had like Dest on one wing, Gavi or Demid on the other, and stuff.
Yeah.
How much the team has come along in a short space of time, I think it's really positive. But weird season, and I think exiting's a bad thing. I wanted to win the Europa League, I really did, but focus on La Liga. Let's see if we can win all of the 8 games.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit like your girlfriend breaks up with you and you're like, I didn't want her anyway. I was interested in this other one all along. That kind of thing. So there's a little bit of that going on. I will echo your point that it hurt more getting knocked out of Champions League, not going into the round of 16. I got my hopes built up. I ordered this kit. I was like, all right, well, we're definitely going to win. After we beat Napoli, I was like, we're we're through. We're gonna win Europa League.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and order this Sergio Busquets kit. But like I said at the top of the show, it's a good reminder that it's not all about trophies, but it's how Barcelona plays. You know, I don't love the club because we've won the most trophies. Yeah. We've won the most trophies in a season, I'll say, because of the way that we play the game, and that's why I love Barcelona. So to your point, I'm going to say positive season. If we end up in second, I think we're pretty secure in that. Knock on wood. I think we're starting to pull away a little bit. Madrid have a few interesting matches.
They do. Yeah.
Is there a little hope for Barcelona still maybe get a trophy this year, Pablo?
there's the thinnest slither. Honestly, no. No is the answer, but there is a slither. Look, everyone keep hoping. Don't, please, guys. After we got exited as well, keep positive. I don't want to kill anyone's hopes, but in short, I think it's super unlikely. Super unlikely.
I'm gonna say 0.08% chance.
Yeah.
Here's what I've said on some of the other episodes of Wake Up in Barca.
Yeah.
Madrid have Sevilla, which is tomorrow.
Tonight.
Atletico Madrid, and then they end their season against Betis. Assuming we win our match in hand, which is this week against Rayo, we'll be 9 points back. If we win all of our matches and Madrid happen to lose just those 3, we'll be level on points. Do we win because of goal differential and head-to-head, right?
Head-to-head, yep.
Okay, so
we just need to be level,
0.08% chance, but there's a chance.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. It could all get blown up tomorrow. In my opinion, if Sevilla don't beat Madrid tomorrow...
Yeah, you think, yeah. I think you're right, yeah. I think we need a lot to happen. We do. And actually, on the point, by the way, love the shirt. Honestly, I was very close to getting one of those shirts this season. Busquets on the back as well. And you know what? I was really confident as well. I was going to go to the Europa League semi-final second leg in Barcelona. I'd booked flights for the dates they was going to be.
Oh no, Pablo!
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, disaster, man. It was.
We were all counting our chickens on that one.
It's a tough few days, yeah. You know what? I knew. It was just because else the flights would have gone up so much. So I thought, let's try it because this could be an amazing game. Maybe it wouldn't have been. Maybe the stadium would have been full of West Ham fans. I would have been thinking, my God, why am I here? That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's maybe not so devastated. The fact that the stadium was full of away fans. I was expecting it to be full of Barca fans. Maybe it wouldn't have been so. There you go. There's the.
Yeah. So are you out? Were you able to cancel those flights, or are you just going to Barcelona now anyway?
No, I'm going to change it to a week later, I think, and go to Celta Vigo at home.
Ah, all right. Very cool.
Not quite European semi-final, but it'll be more of a home atmosphere, won't it? It'll be full of Barca fans. The stadium probably won't be so full. Maybe 50, 60,000 and, no away fans in the ground. And hopefully it'll just be a nice day out in the sun.
Yeah. Somebody asked in the chat where I actually got this one. WorldSoccerShop.com is where I got it from. I think soccer.com is also the same thing. But... yeah, they're probably going to be available now that Barcelona are not in any European competition. Might be a discount coming. Who knows? Yeah. But Pablo, maybe next year, who knows? Talking crazy talk. Maybe we go to a game together next year.
Yeah, I think wild. So, yeah.
I think we can make it
happen.
It
would be insane, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Let's not look too far ahead, though. We still got this year.
Yes.
A little bit of sad news. Pedri came off at halftime, injured. He's out the rest of the season. So I don't want to focus too much on the negative, right? He's got a bright future. I'm very excited for him.
Yeah.
My question is, who has the biggest opportunity here to step up?
Yeah.
De Jong, Gavi, Nico, or is there room for maybe a Ricky Puig to get a little bit of playing time now? What do you think that this will mean for the other midfielders?
Yeah, well, I think what it will mean is that the starting midfield for any of Barca's biggest games will be Busquets, De Jong, and Gavi, is what I think. So opportunity for kind of De Jong and Gavi not to be rotated in and out every game now, in a way.
Yeah.
Opportunity-wise, I think you're right to bring Ricky Puig, and I think Puig will now get playing time. He will. Puig will play before the end of the season, a few games, he will. So a bit of an opportunity there. I think almost a big one is Nico. I do, and I say that because Nico at the start of the season, he was there with like Gavi, and I feel a bit bad for Nico because I almost feel like it's kind of evident that he's the level below Pedri and Gavi, isn't it? He's just not at the same level, which is a bit sad because I think when he first came to the Barca team, I was thinking, oh, who's this? He's got a bit of a different build to a normal La Masia player. Not so technical, a bit stronger, more of a powerful runner. But when he plays these days, I honestly feel like the midfielder is missing something. So that kind of hurts me a bit. It's almost a bit like we don't want Nico on the team anymore, and I feel a bit bad by saying that. So I think this is a good chance for Nico, is what I'm going to say I do, because before I think it was Busquets plus Pedri, Gavi, or De Jong, two of those guys. Yeah. And I think now it'll be Busquets plus Gavi, De Jong, who aren't going to play every game, for sure, no. And Nico's got a great chance now, he really has. So Ricky Puig is similar, but I think big chance for Nico to get some stocks back.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with you on that. It seems like Nico and De Jong over the last 3 months have really changed in terms of perception and momentum. Back in January, you were still hearing a lot of players saying, oh, Frankie De Jong's going to be the one out. Yeah. It's going to be Pedri, Nico, Gavi. That's the future. And not that that won't be, but I think De Jong has answered the call. He's answered the critics. He said, no, this is my club. I'm here to stay. And Nico has dipped a little bit. I think you touched on something. He's not the typical La Masia mold. He's a bigger body, a little bit more physical. He's not the quick-moving type midfielder. But I do think there's room for that at Barcelona. Yeah. I think it's a mistake for folks that are looking at our midfield selection right now and thinking whoever's not the starters has to go. Yeah. I think there is more than enough room between the number of matches we have, illness and injury. There's playing time to be had.
Absolutely, man. You need the squad. You need the squad.
Yeah. Speaking of the squad, there's some players in question for this upcoming summer. So let me run by a couple of you. We'll start out with this one, and I hate to even bring it up. I would love to go one stream without talking about this guy.
Go on.
Dembele. Since the last time we talked, which was right around the Napoli matches, has he done anything to change your thoughts, your opinions? And give me an amount that you would comfortably pay him per season that you think he's worth.
Well, he has done enough, actually. I actually think Dembele is one of the most important players in the team right now. I really do.
Tell me more.
I'm still under the impression that I wouldn't throw everything at him. I think he should still, if he wants to renew within the salary limit. We're kind of within our salary margin right now and with what we're giving players. But the fact remains that Dembele has been really important for Barcelona. I actually thought even in the Frankfurt game, he really gave it his all. He actually did. And I think sometimes in the past we've seen a bit of a careless Dembele, but he actually really cared. You actually could see he actually wanted Barcelona to be in the semi-finals. And for someone who's been booed by the fans, might be going at the end of the season, you know what, I actually say fair enough. I do applaud it. I actually do, because it's not easy to do that. I'm not Dembele's massive fan. I do like Dembele. I'm kind of one of those guys that doesn't really hold grudges against any player in the team. I'm kind of behind all of them, but I think a few people kind of just thought about Dembele, get out of here, man. But fair play to him. I think playing wise, he's done amazingly. One of the most important players in the team. How much would I pay him? I think, to be fair, our highest earners aren't on. Well, they are still now, but that's because of the Bartomeu days. I think the way we're trying to renew people now is kind of almost a 6 million to 8 million if the highest players, maybe 10 million or 15 million is the max.
Yeah.
So Dembele, what would I give him? Maybe 8 million a year.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I think
even
that's
reasonable.
Quite high. When you think that Araujo might be renewing on 4 or something, I think that's actually very high. But I just don't think we're going to be renewing him for any less than that. I really don't. I think even 8 he might decline, because from the numbers we were hearing before were quite extortionate. So I think even 8 he might decline, but that's why I've tried to be realistic almost and say, look, we're not going to be renewing Dembele for 5 million. You can forget about that. You really can. So 8 million, let's see.
Yeah. I would, so I'll say this, and people have heard me say this a lot, but I got to say it for context. Huge Dembele fan, stood up for him for the first 4 years, through injuries and all those things, right? So in my heart, I am pulling for Dembele. But I am also disappointed in the January negotiations. Yeah. With that said, since then, assist machine. He's now caught Benzema. He's either tied or first for assists. He's in the top 2, Dembele and Benzema. Number 1 on our team, Jordi Alba is behind him, right? So I would be willing to go up to 11 million to keep him. Here's why. You got to think about the cost to bring in somebody else to replace him. Between the potential transfer fees, sign-on bonus, this and that, and then you got to get that player caught up. It sometimes takes a season to get up to pace, and who knows if a new player will even fit in at Barcelona.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, I will put aside my temporary disappointment. I would go up to 11 million and still be okay with it, but not a dollar more. Not a dollar more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. You make really good points, actually. It's something people don't actually talk about a lot. People think that, Dembele out, Rafinha in, and that'll be that. Rafinha will just play as if he's played it for 5 years. Who knows? I like Rafinha as a player. He's a good player, but the guy's been playing at Leeds United. It's a relegation-threatened club in England, he doesn't get the ball that much and stuff. He won't understand the positioning. Dembele's developed so much under Xavi, and I think this is actually something that happens a lot when players are running out of contracts. People think, he goes out, we'll get him in instead then. No problem at all. Football's a lot more than just, the rating of the player on FIFA almost, it is real life. People come in, it depends on family, it depends on what status you are with your partner sometimes, it depends on who's coming with you, it depends on the number of minutes you're going to get, the coach, a lot of things. And I think Dembele right now seems quite settled with Xavi and stuff, and that's been massive for him, as we've seen. Who knows what someone will do? I think Rafinha would be a good player for Barcelona. I honestly do. I think he's a quality footballer. I really do. Very talented. But you never know. You never know. And I think it's always worth renewing people. And you're right. You can almost save money too as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So one more point on Dembele, and this will kind of tie into the next player. I saw a lot of people giving Dembele some stick for his performance in that second leg there, taking on players on the dribble. Okay. But I think what a lot of people were maybe missing is that Barcelona were unable to get our outside wingbacks up in support. And Frankfurt were tremendous at creating traps on the wing with 3-4 defenders. So Torres and Dembele left in situations where you have to run at these defenders. That's the only way we're going to create opportunities. And I think Xavi put that in their head early, because that first 25 minutes, every time Dembele got the ball, it was receive, turn, attack. There was no hesitation. And I will admit, I loved seeing that from Dembele.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. I'm the complete same on that. I don't know. I don't know if I like people who criticize wingers who lose the ball. It's kind of part of the job, and I think Xavi kind of encourages that. I thought Dembele's performance against Frankfurt was really good. Actually, it didn't bring any fruits, if you like, and that's kind of what frustrates people with Dembele sometimes. To that I say fair enough. If you want somebody who's always got end product, then okay. But every time he got the ball, and it was such a difficult game, like you were saying, they were suffocating him. We couldn't get through in any other way but Dembele almost the whole game. Ferran tried a few times in the left-hand side in the first half.
He had some good runs.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he did.
I don't mean
to
interrupt, but some of the runs that he had, I was like, oh, this is next level Ferran that I had not seen at Barcelona yet.
Yeah, and he's got to bring that into his game, because the issue with Ferran at Barca so far is he's been too one-dimensional. Very good player. I'm a huge Ferran fan, but he has got to start adding that to his game. He's going to be a Barca winger. He has to be able to go past people, and he did add that to his game, and we needed it too, because it was so tricky against Frankfurt. It was so goddamn tough to watch. And that's why I said fair enough, Dembele. I thought, you're trying, man. You're trying to get us a goal here. You're going past 3-4 players. Maybe the cross gets blocked, but you're giving it a good shot.
Sure. That's fair. Fair points. Speaking of wingers getting some harsh criticism, Adama's stock seems to be dropping quite rapidly. Yeah. I think, again, he was kind of set up for failure in that first leg against Frankfurt without having a proper right back to overlap. Yeah. But even with that said, the other matches that he's appeared in, the performance seems to be going down. What are your thoughts on Adama right now?
We have to be honest. Adama's been really poor in the last few games, actually. We have to be honest. He's been really poor. Every time when he came on against Frankfurt in that second leg, I was on I got up from sitting down. I was like, what am I watching? Pass the ball. He got the ball and just kind of ran into players and then just kind of left it. I was like, we need a goal, man. I don't want to be harsh, but we need a goal. What are you doing, mate? Can you stop just running into them and then leaving the ball? It was really weird to watch. He's done that a few times now. I don't know. We're not seeing the Adama that kind of bursts past people and isn't scared to take people on. He's saying, I'm going to get to the byline. I'm quicker. I'm stronger than you. And I'm going to hook a cross in here. Yeah. We know what Adama's good at. We never made Adama out to be Lionel Messi. I know he can't shoot, really. Yep. I know he can't come in on his left foot or stuff. Yeah, he has limitations to his game. Adama really does. But what he is amazing at is beating players and getting a cross in. There's no one really quite like him in the world. But once he doesn't have that, I think he becomes a very limited player. And that's what people always criticize Adama about. When he first came to Barca, we only saw the good side. Now we're seeing the bad side. And I think it really irritates fans, and fair enough, because sometimes you're watching and you're thinking, what are you here for? Like, what are you here for? And that's why people prefer Dembele, because Dembele can come inside. He's got a shot on him. He can cross. He can pass. Adama sometimes, once he's too one-dimensional and the one-dimensional stuff doesn't come off, he can look really poor, and he has looked very poor. And the way things are going, Barca won't be activating the buy option, which is a little bit sad in my opinion, considering how he started. And I actually quite like him as a player, but they just can't vouch, paying 30 million for a player who's performing like that.
Yeah, not 30 million. You just can't do that. The number that jumped in my head was like 15 million, and that's also in the back of my mind. If we could somehow convert him into a right wing back, I think that's maybe where he could have a future at Barcelona. I have not seen him play in that position in a while. I know that he was thrown in there for Wolves a few times, but I don't watch Wolves enough to really give a fair assessment. I just know it's an option, and we're short on right backs. Who knows what happens? Mazraoui apparently is looking at Bayern Munich now, so I think that's maybe an option for Adama to stay. But I'm with you, not worth the 30 million on that one.
No, unfortunately not.
One more player to throw your way before I got a little bit of a curveball to throw your way.
Okay.
What about Luke de Goat? Should we look into bringing him in on a permanent deal?
It's a really hard one. Honestly, I'd say yes. And I'd say yes. And I'm not getting... I am getting drawn into the love for him because I love the guy so much, honestly. I adore Luke de Jong. He's such a hero. But actually, I love these sorts of players, and I think he'd be invaluable for Barcelona. If Barcelona are going into next season, maybe selling Memphis Depay and Martin Braithwaite, you've got Aubameyang, maybe you've got another striker signing like a Lewandowski or who knows, someone else. As a third/second striker, Luke de Jong, who would come on for practically nothing, on no wages, a top professional, someone who is invaluable in the last minutes of games. There's no one quite like him. He reminds me of like an Olivier Giroud sort of player.
Dead on.
I adore these guys. They're just world-class players, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, players who are just good at certain things. It's just so useful. You just whip in across to him, he's going to steer it in. It's an unbelievable asset to have. And I think having someone like Luke de Jong is really valuable. And Barcelona may next season, I don't think they're going to keep him. I really don't. And that kind of hurts me. And I think Barcelona next season will be 2-2 away to Levante. And we'll be thinking, oh, God, I wish we could just swing balls into the box now. And maybe we won't be able to because we just got Ferran and Sulfati up front. Yeah. It's a good option to have is what I'm getting at here. And I understand the squad of space, but I'm just being realistic. I'm not going out of the way. I just honestly think it is viable for Barcelona and it would be a good option.
Yeah, I will echo that as well. I'm a huge Luke de Goat fan. When he comes on, I get excited. I'm like, here comes a golazo, And his confidence is flying high right now. Yeah. He's gone from one of the most hated Barcelona players to one of the most loved in the course of a few months. So I would love to see him back. Part of me just like as a human is like, maybe if he doesn't come back, if he doesn't, sign a permanent deal, he gets to live on as a Barcelona legend. Yes. If he comes back next year, there's the potential that he doesn't carry on the momentum and things go south again, and then the legend of Luke de Goat doesn't live on. So
you're right.
If we can get him for a fair deal and he's willing to play for cheap wages, like you said, let's give him a roll of the dice. But if he doesn't renew, Luke de Goat, the legend of, gets to live on. So that'll put a smile on my face too.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Okay. One more question for you, Pablo. I love that we got such a good conversation in this time. I appreciate you spending so much time with me on the channel.
No, of course.
So here's my curveball for you. We've got a number of players out on loan right now. All right, let me give you the list. We've got Inaki Peña, Griezmann, Coutinho, Pjanic, Trincao, Collado. Those were the six that I thought of. Am I missing anybody big that you can think of?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
There might be some younger players out there that I didn't list, but those are the six that I'm thinking of. Peña, Griezmann, Coutinho, Pjanic, Trincao, Collado.
Yes, yep.
I'm going to cross off Inaki Peña from this question because that would be too easy. So Griezmann, Coutinho, Pjanic, Trincao, Collado. Out of those five, who is most likely to be at Barcelona in the squad next year?
Oof. Oh,
You got to give me one.
it's tricky.
Yeah.
I think there are different reasons. All right, I'm going to go through. I don't think Griezmann will be there.
Okay.
I don't think Coutinho will be there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trincao will get a move of some form to the Premier League or even to La Liga or to Portugal. I do. I don't think he'll be in the squad next season. He might. Maybe Xavi thinks I like this guy, but I don't think he will. So that kind of leaves me with two strange options. Collado was a player who I think was quite highly rated, actually. I think Xavi quite likes him. But I have a feeling he will try and get a loan move, and it'll be quite easy because there'll be no space for him in Xavi's squad. And then you've got Miralem Pjanic, who could stay simply because of the fact that no one else will want to pay his wages elsewhere. So I think Barcelona could end up with a situation where a lone player stays, but they don't want. It's not like a decision from the club saying we want to use you. It's just we're left with you. So Collado could be one who stays, maybe because Xavi thinks, you know what, I'm a fan of this player. Maybe even the same happens with Trincao. Pjanic could just stay because no one wants to pay his wages and no one wants to pay a transfer fee. Maybe he'll get a loan to Inter or something, but I think it'll be difficult for Pjanic. I do. I think Pjanic is the one we've got to worry about the most. I think Coutinho will get a Premier League move, 30 million. Griezmann will stay at Atletico for a second season on loan. Then they'll pay us the fee. That's a weird deal, by the way. I don't know how that works, but I think that's what will happen. Like you said, Iñaki Peña will either stay if Neto goes or will go if Neto stays. And that's why I think Collado could stay under Xavi's orders. And if not, Pjanic will be forced to stay.
Yeah, I really like your logic there. Because Pjanic, it was like down to the wire just to get him out on loan. So
that's why I'm worried.
Yeah, that's I like how you interpreted that, and you might be right. Just from a practical sense, we might be stuck with Pjanic. I don't want this to happen, but if that is the case, I would be a little bit curious to see how or if Xavi uses Pjanic at all. I would be curious. But I'm glad. I really hope Coutinho stays in the English Premier League because I love Coutinho.
Yeah.
And I am heartbroken seeing him at Barcelona. I want what's best for Coutinho in that case. Griezmann is a very interesting one.
Yeah.
3 goals this year, I think, for Atleti, something like that. So it's almost like I don't know if Atleti are going to want him and Barcelona don't want him. Like that's going to be a weird situation. But I can't imagine him playing for Barcelona again.
Neither.
I can't see it, right?
No, I think he'll stay. I think there may be a clause in the deal where if Griezmann plays 50% of the matches, then I think it's the loan automatically renews for the second season, and then it's at the end of the second season they have to buy him. I don't know. That's a really complicated deal, and actually, all the journalists have said different things on that. So who knows, man? But I'm pretty sure Griezmann will stay put at Atletico. That's done, I think.
Yikes. Okay. All right. I know I said that was gonna be the last question, but I got one more for you. All right. Bigger impact for Barcelona come next year: the return of Ansu Fati, or anybody that we could reasonably sign this summer? What's going to have a bigger impact for Barcelona next year?
Such a tough one because it depends on Ansu Fati's fitness. I'll say this for Ansu Fati. I'm a big believer in Ansu. I think he's a really different player, actually. He's a really interesting player because he's a real killer in front of goal, actually, for someone who maybe you wouldn't imagine it from, but he's very good in front of goal, Ansu. I think if Ansu stays fit for a whole season, he'll score 20 goals. I really do. If Barcelona, however, you're saying anyone we could get in, rumours now of Lewandowski, for example, I've got a lot of thoughts on the Lewandowski transfer, actually, a lot of pros, a lot of cons, so I'm really undecided on it. It's a really weird one. I think will divide the fan base, Lewandowski, if he does come. I really do think that. But say Lewandowski comes in and say he does fit in with Barcelona's young team, and just for 1 year or two, he is the spearhead, he does score 30, 40 goals, it could be revolutionary. It could win Barcelona La Liga, the Copa del Rey, who knows where it could get us in the Champions League. It's so tough. You know what? I'm going to go for Ansu Fati because I think Ansu Fati fits Barcelona perfectly. And I think that if Ansu Fati is fit and firing just because of the way he understands the game, either at left wing or like false 9 striker, I think he'll really enjoy himself in Xavi's team. I actually do think that. So let's go Ansu. I'm a big believer in Ansu. If Ansu's fit, that's great. I know hopefully once I go to Camp Nou in May, Ansu will be fit. So maybe I see Ansu again.
All right, that would be awesome. I love the optimism. I hope that's the case. I think it is an interesting question, and I think we'll explore it down the line. We got all summer to talk transfers. The Lewandowski one's very interesting to me. So maybe next time you're on, we'll start with that one, because I think listen, for Lewandowski, I think it's pretty clear he wants that Ballon d'Or, right?
Yeah.
If he comes to a club like Barcelona and we get a Champions League trophy with him, and he's carrying the team in terms of goals, how could you not give it to him?
He'll win it. He'll win it. He'll win it, yeah.
Match made in heaven, maybe. We'll see. All right, Pablo, another good conversation, buddy. It's always great hanging out with you. Anything else that you wanted to shout out to the Stash Squad or Cool Ace around the world watching?
No, that's fine, man. Thank you very much for having me on again. It was a great chat. I think we spoke about probably the most we ever have there. There was so many issues. I think the ticket thing was just so crazy these last few days. Everyone's been talking about everything. So I think we've done a good job, actually, of getting it all out there. I really do. So that's good. I'm happy I've almost got it off my chest. It has been so crazy. And we talk about a lot of other stuff too. So as always, man, thank you so much for having me on. Always a pleasure to speak to you, honestly. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, shout out and credit to you. I like I said, knew very little about what was actually going on with the ticket stuff. So I appreciate you coming in, dropping some knowledge on us, having some good conversation. You are always welcome, as you know, here on the Undefeated community. The Stash Squad loves you. So I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us, Pablo.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. We'll see ya.
Talk soon, man. See ya.
Bye. All right, folks. That was a long one, but I just kept going. People were hanging out, and Pablo is such a cool guy. I love having conversations with him. So a special episode of Wake Up in Barca. We talked about the ticketing fiasco. We talked about the supporters groups. We talked about Europa League. We talked about Barcelona's 0.08% chance of winning the La Liga title. All good stuff. We talked about the Pedri injury and what that means for the rest of the midfielders. We talked Dembele, Adama, Luke de Goat, players on loan. It was a great conversation with my buddy Pablo, scholar and a gentleman. That's going to do it for today, folks. Shout out to Kyle Cash holding things down for us on the moderator front. I know this was a random one, a short notice, but I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out with us, keeping that conversation going. Go Young, finished, Parth, much appreciated, friends. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. I'll see y'all next time. Mwah.